Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the biological realities of body recomposition. We're going to outline exactly how to permanently fix this soft physique and literally rebuild your frame from the inside out. If you've been banging your head against the wall trying to figure out why your fitness efforts just aren't translating into the results you want, well, you are definitely in the right place. Okay, so let's get right into this. Do you ever experience what I call the frustrating t-shirt paradox? You know the deal. You put on a nice fitted shirt, catch your reflection and think, hey, I'm looking pretty good. But the second that shirt comes off, say at the beach or the pool, the reality totally shifts. The shape just kind of disappears. You lack chest definition and you're carrying those stubborn love handles that absolutely refuse to leave, no matter what you do. Maybe you even drop down to do a few push-ups, or you're trying to move some heavy boxes in the garage, and it feels way, way harder than it should for someone your size. If you're nodding along right now, I need you to take a deep breath. Here's the ultimate reframe for you. Your body is not broken. Struggling with those push-ups or feeling a bit soft simply means you fall into a very specific physical category that we call skinny fat. And that's all it is, guys. It's just a specific starting point. It is absolutely not a permanent defect. But because your starting point is unique, following standard generic fitness advice, yeah, that's actually going to lead you in the exact wrong direction. Which brings us to Section 1, the cardio and diet trap. When that realization finally hits that you feel out of shape, the first instinct is usually just pure panic. You jump on some extreme diet. Suddenly carbs are the ultimate enemy, right? You completely cut out bread, rice, maybe even fruit. And then comes the second panic move, adding in hours of exhausting, high-intensity cardio. You start sprinting, running endless miles, and leaving the gym feeling completely destroyed. But listen to me. This instinct to starve yourself and endure those brutal sessions is a complete trap. Let's talk about expectation versus reality. You think all that starving and sweating is going to uncover this toned, athletic physique? But when you put your body through that kind of extreme stress, it actually freaks out and goes into survival mode. So instead of building muscle, your body strips away the vital muscle you already have right alongside the fat. The reality? You don't get toned. You just shrink. You end up as a smaller, equally soft version of your exact current self. So let's move on to Section 2, the body recomposition solution, or how we actually dismantle the skinny fat look. Body recomposition is the biological process of building new muscle at the exact same time you're burning off stored fat. Think of this process like a major architectural remodel. It's like swapping out heavy, old furniture for lighter, stronger pieces without ever having to actually move out of the house. You are literally upgrading the structure from the inside. To actually force your body to do this, we need to talk about the math. You want to aim for a slight, and I mean slight, 15% calorie deficit, which means you're consuming about 85% of your maintenance calories. You shouldn't force-feed yourself to bulk up, and you definitely shouldn't starve yourself to cut. Giving your body just enough food to sustain itself forces it to tap into that stored fat for energy while still having exactly what it needs to construct new muscle. And hey, if you're relatively new to proper training, I actually have some amazing news for you. You are currently sitting in what's known as the beginner's sweet spot. This gives you a massive, massive advantage. Because your body just isn't used to this kind of stimulus, it's highly responsive. It's actually way easier for your body to trigger this dual process of burning fat and building muscle right now than it would be for, say, a seasoned pro athlete. You just have to supply it with the right materials. Let's get into Section 3, rebuilding your frame with low-friction habits. So the single most important building material for this remodel is dietary protein. Now, diet culture loves to sell this miserable myth that eating protein means you have to suffer through plain, dry chicken breasts and steamed broccoli out of plastic Tupperware for the rest of your life. Let's totally debunk that right now. Hitting your protein targets honestly just requires consistent, effortless daily swaps. Grab some Greek yogurt instead of a sugary snack, scramble a few eggs in the morning, or just mix up a quick protein shake. Tactical swaps over Tupperware, that is exactly how you ensure your body has the materials it needs to build without all the misery. Next up is how we move. The daily target here is 7,000 to 10,000 steps. That's it. You really do not need to suffer through brutal cardio sessions. Your single most effective fat-burning tool is simply walking, and it's incredibly easy to slip into your normal routine. Pace around the living room during a phone call, or go for a simple stroll around the neighborhood after dinner. It quietly burns calories in the background without spiking your hunger or wiping out your energy for the rest of the day. Now, when it comes to the muscle building side of things, we use a concept called progressive overload. Honestly, think of building muscle kind of like a video game, where you gain a little bit of experience to level up each week. You don't need some grueling, vomit-inducing boot camp. You just challenge yourself to do a tiny bit more than last time. Step 1, maybe you add just 1 extra rep. Or step 2, add just 5 more pounds to the bar. These tiny, incremental challenges are the exact signals your body needs to know it has to grow stronger. But here is the secret that most people totally miss. The actual physical remodeling, it doesn't happen while you're sweating in the gym. It happens when you sleep. Getting 7 or more hours of sleep is your body's true construction phase. This is the exact time when your hormones reset and your body uses that protein you ate to actually go in and build new muscle tissue. If you skip the sleep, you are literally skipping the construction. Moving on to section 4. Ditch the bathroom scale. It's time to measure real progress. When you think about body composition, you have to realize that dense muscle takes up so much less space than fat, but it can weigh the exact same amount. Picture a small, heavy cube of metal versus a big, fluffy cloud of cotton. Because of this, the bathroom scale is a complete liar. The scale might not move a single pound for a month, even as your shoulders are getting noticeably wider and your waist is getting much, much smaller. Because of that, you have got to ignore the scale entirely. Instead, you want to look for real signals of progress. Pay attention to how your clothes feel. Are your shirts fitting a little tighter across your shoulders and chest? Are they fitting a bit looser around your waist? Take weekly mirror photos so you can track the actual visual changes. These tangible, real-world markers are the true indicators that your body recomposition is actually working. And as you track those changes, keep this mindset front and center. Demand consistency, not perfection, 80% of the time over 6 months. Look, this is a slow, structural process. You didn't arrive at the skinny fat physique overnight, and you definitely won't fix it overnight. Trying to be 100% perfect is usually what leads to burning out and quitting by week 3. But if you stick to the plan just 80% of the time, patiently feeding and resting your body, you're going to see phenomenal results. Which leaves us with one final question for you to chew on. Are you going to continue the exhausting starvation cycle, or are you ready to finally rebuild your frame from the inside out? It's time to ditch the extreme diets and the brutal boot camps. Embrace the quiet, patient habits of walking, sleeping, and lifting just a little bit heavier each week. Take control of your building materials and start constructing a leaner, much more athletic shape today. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will catch you in the next one.